This is an issue I always had when I was young. I played too rough, and I was a bit too silly. And I've made some mistakes in my career, particularly early in my career. Obviously, Zeke's involved in some serious things, domestic violence, now beating up someone in a bar, allegedly. Some of the other things, smaller, the marijuana dispensary. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm concerned.
Absolutely. We need to get Zeke in a year-round training camp, a year-round some sort of life coach, always on call type of, some type of counseling or something, man. It's not good right now for Zeke to be going through this. He has a bright future in front of him, and it's sad to see him going through things like this. I really feel like the people around him are responsible. And of course, Zeke has to make his own decisions and his own choices. But at the end of the day, it's people around him that has to help him make these choices. And we heard what his dad said. I mean, I may give him a call sometime this afternoon, because I really don't want him to blow everything he has in front of him.
You got to be responsible. I mean, coming into it that it's a social media-driven world. Everybody's got a cell phone on their cell phone has a camera on it. Yeah. You're always going to be scrutinized and looked at. Here's the thing that's unfair, and we all know that life's not fair. The thing that is unfair is that a kid comes into this kind of money, and all of a sudden, you know what we expect him to do? To operate with our standards, with our belief system, with our moral code. A kid walks in there. Like, I came from Fish Belly White in Alaska, right? I came from an upper middle class family, and I was taught some values and how to manage some money and taught. Well, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't have that advantage. And now all of a sudden they come into it and you're like, you know what you need to do, right? And you're like, wait a minute, whoa. Don't put your moral compass on that kid who's never had that may not have ever had that kind of training. Now, with that said, it's his responsibility to grow up. I mean, at some point, all of us have to grow up, right? At some point, all of us have to take responsibility. I'm proud of you because what you were into, to me, I can't even fathom that, man. Yeah. But you know what you've done? You've owned it. And at some point, you have to own it, and you have to say, this is me, I'm flawed, I've got some issues, but I'm working to get better. Yeah. And so all of us, every single one of us has done some things that I thank the Lord that stuff ain't on some social media platform right now. Some of the things that I've done.
But you know what? But everyone's missing a point right here. The question is, should the Cowboys be concerned about Ezekiel Elliott and his information? Now, what everyone's missing is that the Cowboys have never been concerned about guys.
Oh, that's not true, Eric.
Hold on, guys. Stop this. Jerry Jones he's concerned if you're missing time. I was in San Francisco and I heard about the White House. Okay,
49ers logo over his head.
Hold on, no. I was in San Francisco and I knew what was happening at the White House in Dallas. You mean to tell me Jerry Jones didn't? Jerry Jones has never been concerned about what the guys are doing off the field. You were talking about him. Ezekiel, as a person, has to grow up. He has to take care of himself. He has to own who he is, what he's doing.
Why did he hire all those people to babysit Dez Bryant? The same thing Mike's talking about. Maybe Ezekiel needs that kind of help.
But I think
you know what? That one individual. Okay, that one individual, and he did those things, and I get what you're saying, and I know it sounds like I'm trying to straddle the fence, but you pick out this one player, and you know all these other things are going on. So why is Ezekiel right here now? Why doesn't he already have those babysitters around him? Because that's not his issue. If you're not missing time, and he was worried about Dez Bryant missing time. If he's not missing time, if he's going to be able to show up, if he's not getting suspended, Jerry is not concerned because these are grown men you're dealing with.
Well, he's concerned for the reasons you're talking about. Dez is already potentially getting suspended before this incident this season. So there is a time concern. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm sorry. There is a time concern there. And so I also coaches can't be all-knowing. Organizations can't be all-knowing and pervasive everywhere a player is. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, actually comes from a decent family. This guy is a bit immature, and his father recognizes it. And to me, again, I'm not defending the guy, but I've been young and dumb. and I came from very good parents that instilled very good values in me. But you can get caught in the wrong situation.
Yeah.
And if you mix alcohol in that situation, that's how mistakes happen.
Yeah, well, there's no question about that. All those things being true. You got to own it. You got to take responsibility. To your point, though, you know, if the organization doesn't hold you to a standard, or if there's a back staircase up to the owner's office that you can say, hey, listen, man, this is what's going on, then that's that structurally, that organization will always have a few cracks in it. There will always be some issues within the organizational structure if you feel like you can circumvent or emasculate the head coach and walk straight up to the owner's office and say, I don't like the way we're doing this, and have the owner have that kind of
that Redskin, but decent.
Right. Decent. But I think all these things are
on the Cowboys, man.
My biggest concern, if I was in that organization, is that, and we've all been here, you can have a few guys in your locker room. Every locker room has 5 or 6 touch guys, right? There's 5 or 6 guys that are flat out crazy, or close to it.
If you're a good team.
Right, if you're a good team. So my big concern is what kind of influence does that, and I'm not saying Zeke is a touch guy. I'm just saying, what kind of influence could you have on a Dak Prescott? Possibly getting Dak Prescott to roll out with you when those concerns.
Influencing Zeke.
That's the hope.
That's what I hope. But I also know this. The 5 or 6 touch guys, if you don't have a locker room full of professionals, there's a gravitational pull there that is stronger than all the professional guys on your team. And I don't know why that is.
No, because
maybe it's because we're children.
Ball players like crazy.
You got to be crazy to play football in the first place. All right.